Hey Fairy Tribe, can you believe it is August? I cannot believe we have come to that time of year already. Although I have to be very honest and say that Halloween is my favourite time of year. I don't think any of you will be surprised about that really. So I'm really looking forward to hitting TK Maxx and seeing what Halloween goodies they have in store this month, because it usually comes in the month of August. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the blog this month as it was inspired by a really weird thing that happened to me. And what happened was I was having a delivery there last week to my house, and when the lady delivered the items to my house, she obviously knows I have such a witchy house. You know, when you come in and there's crystals everywhere, and I mean, you know, obviously, okay. So she had mentioned, do you do anything holistic? And I said, yes, I'm a medium. And so she had been like, oh my goodness, I sit in circle as well. And a mediumship circle is all about development. So I asked her who her circle leader was, as you know, it's a small town. And of course I knew them. So I had mentioned them. I said, yes, I know them. And we actually both trained underneath the same person many, many years ago. Now, the person I had mentioned, I hadn't seen for many, many years. And they had been a very, very close friend of mine, and we had lost touch. But I was deeply, deeply fond of them. And of course, my original circle leader, so very special place in my heart. And the woman very casually turned around and went, oh yeah, they're dead. They died last year. And I froze, everything froze, because for me, when people that are very close to me pass, I always get a sign, or I have these dreams leading up to it. It's not quite pleasant, but it's a sense or knowing that someone is going to pass. It's the other side of abilities that I don't quite like, you know. And I normally get a heads up from spirit, or a knowing or a heaviness around me in the days leading up to this. So when she had informed me, someone who basically really was my first ever contact with someone talking about mediumship, and who I went to beginner classes with, and I really thought the world of, you know, that they had died, I was heartbroken. So this person obviously didn't know them, they knew of them, so they were just casually saying, oh yeah, they died last year, and etc. And I was trying to just take the delivery and say thank you to that person, because I was getting incredibly emotional, and I, you know, wasn't going to break down in front of a stranger. So I literally said thank you so much, and off you go. So immediately I got on the phone to obviously my assistant Teresa, and I was really confused, and I was like, I don't understand how I didn't pick this up. Maybe it wasn't meant to me, maybe because I haven't seen them in years, maybe the link isn't as strong, but you know, I love them so much, and I'm so distraught that I never lifted the phone, and all these regrets that you have when a friendship goes out of your life for whatever reasons, that you never got to really talk. And it's the nature, I feel, sometimes of female relationships. When they break down, they can be quite intricate and complicated, and sometimes females can ghost each other. There's lots of intricacies in female relationships that are not spoken about. So anyway, to cut a very long story short, my sister, upon hearing of my distress state, and she was teasing me, and she was like, you know, Fiona, aren't you meant to be psychic? And I was like, hold on, first of all, I do get these feelings when someone's going to pass. I do get this knowing, and I got none of this. I did not pick up anything at all. So either, number one, she is alive, or there's something had blocked me from knowing she had died, and that hadn't happened, which sent me into another spiral. So my sister was like, have you got a number? And I was like, I do, but I don't want to ring in case the number has been passed forward and I'm going to scare some poor person who's got their number. So she rang them, and of course the person was very much alive and well, and it turned out to be a really funny story, and they told them why they rang, and of course which put me back in touch with them immediately, and the two of us immediately reconnected again. And I have no dear doubt that spirit brought that person to be reconnected back into my life again, because when the years go by and there have been so many years elapsed, there can be this sense of shame or awkwardness in lifting the phone and in personal accountability and saying, I'm so sorry, I haven't been in touch, and I'm so sorry, you know, that we've lost so much time out of each other's lives. So sometimes I find it's easier not to do anything about it, or to say, well, listen, that person was a really big part of my life, and to let it go. And sure, then you're standing at a funeral and you're thinking, God, I would have loved to have had one last chat with them, I would have loved them to know how they impacted my life or how much they meant to me when they were here. And it's a thing we always talk about. That's my clock in the kitchen that Teresa hates. I love it. I love it. My late auntie Kathleen used to have a clock like this, and it just makes me smile. It makes me think of her all the time. So yes. Anyway, so it just made me think about how we stand at, you know, the funeral, and we're talking about how this person was great and that, and people will come from years and years ago and they're catching up basically in that person's life with the family of the bereaved. And there can be so much regret and sadness, and sometimes people won't even attend a funeral out of shame because they're so ashamed that they fell out of touch with that person. How can they look their family in the eye? And I think there's many regrets, but I think one of the most important things is don't put off now. That what I learned, and was a powerful lesson for me, was very much about, you know, lift the phone. And the worst thing that can happen is that person says that they don't want to reconnect with you again. The sky isn't going to fall in. You're not going to die of embarrassment. It might be uncomfortable, but at least you tried. At least you tried. And so yes, I've got my gorgeous friend and mentor back in my life, which was just so wonderful, but a very deep lesson which kind of brought me down the rabbit hole of friendships, etc. So yeah, interesting one. So I hope you enjoy it. Crystal of the month is clear quartz, and clear quartz is Archangel Michael's crystal. I want to give a big shout out to Rocky Road Minerals, to Monica there and the gang. So by all means link in with them, as I know they're doing special offers on clear quartz at the moment. So definitely thank you for that, Monica. And we did a great live together there recently at the end of July, so I am going to say that I probably will do another one. Lastly, I am running a mediumship course, yes, in person, and I'll be doing that at the City North Hotel. I'm not doing any other ones because my schedule is really punishing right now, and I literally am pulling things out of everywhere to try and make this happen in the physical. So by all means, I know we have some people coming from abroad for this course, which is fairly cool. So it'll be lovely to have like-minded people under the roof, and we're going to have fun. We're just going to have fun. So please know it's not going to be intimidating. You're just to enjoy your day. Really important. But anyway, have a great month.